It's been just a little bit of time that's passed since the last time we played, so I'll give us a very brief recap. Last session, your party went ahead and fought some mercenaries in the heart of the green in Stokebolt Woods. This was because Evren's brother had tracked this group of mercenaries to this sacred spot in the forest. Your party then attacked them, initially going for more of a sneak attack situation, but then it got loud real quick. You guys successfully dispatched multiple of the mercenaries, including the person leading the group, and the last guy remaining told you guys, I believe you guys zone of truthed him, and he basically explained that they betrayed this person that you found tied up on the ground, this person from the Mage College, Shivat Corwin, who, after getting burned by Evren, had decided to take some muscle with her to try again. And after she arrived at the heart of the green, the leader of the mercenary group took payment, walked around a tree, walked back around, and was like, all right, now I'm going to take the thing that you just led us to, basically. Our contract is over. So that's what you guys broke up. Shivat was not pleased to see Evren, but after you all took her back safely to Verdale, Evren's village, things calmed down a little bit. Then the courier from town showed up and informed you that you were due back at the city because there had been some sort of breakthrough in the case, because the Recollector and the Peacekeeper had had another chat with Burgoyne in jail, and that there had been some new information brought to light. Your group piled into the cart with the courier as well, and you all made your way back to Evren. Then let me think if I'm missing anything. Oh, of course. Before I forget, Marko was given 2 sets of armor to take with him to the forge to get custom made, because 1 suit of armor was not going to be big enough. And then in addition, you found out from the Peacekeeper and the Recollector that the deaths thus far, the one that you all investigated first upon arriving in town, there had been the alchemical symbol for air, in which the victim was pushed. Then you guys investigated this, the body of Dwendon Bliss, who was this dwarf who died in some sort of sacrificial fire, and the Elder Sindri pointed out the fact that the hands of the victim wouldn't have been that way if they had been violently burned to death. It seemed like they were killed, and then their hands were posed in a triangle, which is the alchemical symbol for fire. And finally, you guys found out from the Peacekeeper and the Recollector upon getting back to Evren that the first victim was drowned, and even though it wasn't apparent at the time because all this alchemical stuff hadn't been brought up yet, but after showing the drawings to Burgoyne pointed out the fact that there was in fact a symbol for water, which is an inverse triangle on the wall behind the victim who was drowned in the tub. So now the Peacekeeper told you guys that the prevailing theory is there's probably going to be 1 more death, because Burgoyne explained that there are 4 main elements, and you have wind, you have fire, and you have water. Earth remains, so they are going to have to start looking into some stuff. But with this all this alchemical mumbo-jumbo, the Peacekeeper, along with mainly Marko, thought that investigating the college might be a good next step. And beside that, unless I'm missing or not... Oh yeah, you guys probably saw a deity at the heart of the green. Almost forgot about that. Was that Melina and Evren both looked into the sacred tree and saw some sort of divine figure that was explained to you? That's fun. That's cool. Fun sightseeing. And then outside of that, all of you wound up going to sleep all together, including Burroughs, at the garrison, all of you together. And so we will pick up there in the morning after the night has passed. So your party would wake up as normal, as usual. There's the soldiers getting up for the day, going down into the mess hall area to get their food. And so that is where we would start, is you all at the breakfast table, Eustace busying himself in line getting all of his stuff. But that's where we're going to start.
I'm
I don't.
even.
Yeah, I mean, I think Evren definitely would, if not the last one, she would have been the last one to get up, or like one of the last people to get up. And she's probably up and probably still rubbing her eyes, and her hair's probably not done yet, but she's eating and drinking some caffeine, whatever's caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.
Wide-eyed, Marko would probably slam his morning drink down on the table. Good morning, Evren.
Oh, okay. Hi, good morning, big guy. Oh, you're
All right,
so
team.
energetic for this early in the morning.
Make sure you finish breakfast quick. We have a lot to do today. Here's to not letting anybody die. I feel it, we're so close. But we really got to get a head start today.
Eustace
Okay.
sidles up to the table and sits down and is just like sort of staring at you, Marko. Nick, go ahead.
Let's see, how comfortable are the beds here compared to the dorms? I feel like giving it to barracks, maybe not so much, but
To be brutally honest, it's probably about the same.
yeah, okay.
Dang.
The funding for the beds at the college, and you gotta cut costs somewhere.
Yeah, Burroughs might have been looking for something to complain about, but he's thankfully everyone spared that because he had a good night's sleep for once.
Melina, did you sleep well enough?
Yeah. Did
Oh,
you?
good. Yeah. I'm still a little tired, but that's normal.
That's normal?
Yeah. I stay up
Are
kind
you
of
just
late.
always tired? Is that
Not
what you're saying?
No, I'm not always tired, but I stay up super late when I shouldn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I know. I hear you. Sometimes it's hard to sleep because I hear you.
I'm sorry?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I don't really care that much.
Ignatius gets, what's the word?
Feisty?
Antsy. And yeah, he takes forever to find a spot that's comfortable for him to lay down. He does the, animals. Even for a wildflower
No.
spirit, he's very, yeah.
I
Well,
don't
he
know
was
about animals.
he was on his home turf. Let him stretch
True.
his legs a little bit. Probably
Yeah.
hates being back in the city.
Well, I can't disagree there. Didn't think about that, but that's a good point.
I was actually thinking I would like to go back there once we close this investigation.
Really? What for?
Eh,
I mean,
it
not
was
that you're not welcome, but like most
it
people
was
don't go back there
delightfully
willingly.
simple. The world's
Yeah.
more complicated than I thought, and I don't know, it gave me peace of mind.
Well, you'll definitely have. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, things do happen that's not always peaceful, but for generally speaking, it's pretty peaceful. So as people don't,
Yeah,
you
aside from
know,
the mercenaries in the woods.
that, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. Yeah, I think some time back at home could do me some good too.
Despite a distinct lack of plumbing, I will admit your hometown was quite pleasant.
Thank you. I don't know what you expected. It's the woods, but thanks.
Maybe we could introduce something to him.
I would
Some
be
good ideas.
impressed if that could be realized out there.
One outhouse isn't asking a whole lot, I don't think, at least.
Probably not, no. Yeah. Something to work on later.
Is everybody finished?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting antsy. Somebody could
Where
get
are
killed
we
at any
off
moment.
to?
Okay.
If it's any consolation, most murders take place quite early in the day. If someone were dead, we already would have missed it.
That's
That doesn't
Ugh.
help. But
very
thank you.
reassuring. Thank
I
you.
just stand up from the table. He's right.
Eustace, mouth full with like another plate beside him, says, "Oh, you guys go on ahead. I'm gonna be tied up here for just a little bit longer. You guys go ahead."
It's rude to It's rude to talk with your mouth full, Eustace.
Just stay safe, and we can handle it.
Good try. Good try, Evren.
My mom would have slapped him for that, but that's good thing she's not here.
So Marko, you, even though it's not listed on your official inventory, you have the armor stuff that you need with you. They probably would have
good.
provided you some sort of large bag to put it in to just have it all together, Santa
What
Claus
is that
style.
classified as?
Good question. That will be on your original character sheet. What armor did you have? The armor that you took off of Sir Hans as
Chainmail. The
Chainmail.
starter gear.
Okay. Let's see. What's the one step up from chainmail? Just plate?
I think it's
half
splint,
plate?
isn't it? No, splint's
Splint?
bad.
Hold on.
It's a. God, what was it?
Let's see. Look up heavy armor 5e.
Because there is an in between, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. It's splint.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
What's the
Okay.
worst one then?
Ring mail.
Ring mail. That's it.
Ring mail.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of
It's
that.
no,
I've
it's
never
so
heard of
it's so
that
bad.
either.
It's a flat 14 AC. It's like there's no reason to ever use it.
The only
That's
benefit that it has
terrible.
is it has no strength requirement. But other than that, it's
I guess for like
worse
a
in, like,
squishy
every way.
character, that would be good.
At that
It's
point,
better
you
than
might as well
nothing.
just go medium.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
you know, it is kind of funny where it's like I'm running a cleric, but I want heavy armor, but I'm putting no points in strength or dexterity, I guess.
So I think we're gonna say that it's splint armor then.
Alrighty, splint armor is very cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, and it's heavy because there's basically twice the amount. It's basically 2 suits of armor. Like, it's not like full plate, obviously, but you're gonna have like, you know, bracers, stuff for the legs, something for the like the breastplate and everything, helmet. So like it's a lot of metal in the bag, but given your strength and your size, you're able to sling it over your shoulder just fine.
Alrighty, that gives me a very healthy 19 AC.
So is your group done in the garrison for the day? Is your group heading out?
I
Yep,
believe
so,
straight
yeah.
to the college.
Okay.
I'm just following the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would ask
So-
Burroughs to lead the way.
Yeah. Burroughs would know the quickest route. So yeah, you guys are currently still. Let me just make
Yes,
sure
I'm
you guys are on the
Adjusting in my new
overworld map
armor on the
still,
way
which
there.
is good. Yeah, so Burroughs, you're sort of leading the charge, walking them back to the Mage College. And as you approach the college, you see that there's a lot of non-students milling about around what would be on the map, sort of the western side of the Mage College, like west and to the north of the Mage College. There's a lot of commotion, and very clearly, just judging by the age of the people standing around, not students.
Near the construction site, almost, or
Yes, you can see workers with tools out and wheelbarrows, like sort of bringing stuff up ramps. It seems like there's a bit of a push construction-wise. And yeah, there's just a lot more activity around the grounds of the college, like around the outside, where normally there'd just be 1 or 2 students walking around, usually in pairs. But it's more busy outside than it normally is.
Is there some kind of lecture or something? Special assembly?
Yeah, would I know anything about any special events going on?
Let's see. Go ahead and make a history check with advantage. So, just for this session specifically, since it's been so long since we've played, there are some facts that were mentioned and have been mentioned in the past. For this session specifically, anytime I'm going to have you guys roll history, you're going to roll it with advantage because it would be unfair to tax your brains that far back. So feel free to make as many history checks as you want and roll them with advantage.
Let's see what we
Goodness
get.
gracious.
Oh my god. A 1 and a 5, so 12.
Oh man,
Okay.
that's a crazy modifier though.
Okay, with a 12, you know that the construction of the alchemist, the new fancy alchemist wing of the college has been under construction for some time. But just at a glance, you can see that it seems like there's a lot more workers milling around than there were even just a couple days ago. It seems like construction pace has picked up significantly.
Well, construction seems like it's in full swing. Doesn't explain why the yokels have come to stare blankly at it.
Well, we should find a way through.
I imagine pushing your way through is much easier than my trying to do so.
Well, a few excuse me's here and there, and you just follow my lead. I'll
I'll
just
be right behind you.
gently, like, try to brush past the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, you it takes some doing because even though you are a large individual, you're also very cautious. So picking your way through the crowd, you almost have to bend sideways at some points, especially with your giant thing slung over your shoulder. But you're able to get into the building, which I guess would be sort of the administration part. It's almost like a pseudo lobby of the college where there's various record keepers up front, and you can see as you enter the building that the Peacekeeper and the Recollector seem to be having a bit of a lively discussion with a gentleman that, Burroughs, you would be the only one in this group who knows who this bearded gentleman is. But you see Masman Highmore, who is the Archmage of the college, kind of in charge. You've met this man before. In the closed council chamber. And he's talking back and forth with the Peacekeeper and the Recollector, who keep showing him the sketch that they showed you the other day, and there's sort of a lively conversation. They're not in a screaming match, but it very much seems like they're in some sort of a low simmer argument back and forth.
Okay. Are we too far to catch any of the details, I assume?
I'd say as you're approaching, as your group gets closer, you could just hear the Peacekeeper say, "Listen, I know it's dangerous, but we've got to make inquiries. We have to be thorough. We have to make sure everything is fine before I let any more of this extravagance go on, all right? There's someone dangerous on the loose, and it just so happens that it has something to do with alchemy. And I know that there's nothing that you'd like more than to have all this figured out, but I need to make my own search of this place." The Recollector would turn, see your group approaching, and then would sort of nudge the Peacekeeper. And she turns, looks at your group, and says, "Oh, sorry I wasn't more ready for you. I'm still trying to see whether or not we'll be able to make any progress today. Eh, Masman?" And this very austere gentleman with this close-cut facial hair and these very fancy robes Hmm. Why don't all of you roll? All of you roll insight.
Okay.
Not my strong suit.
Insight.
Oh,
11.
modified 20.
Ooh.
That's a 12 from me.
Eight.
Okay. Marko, you see that as Masman turns to look in the direction that the Recollector was talking, that this Masman Highmore guy looks at your group, but makes like eye contact with Burroughs for like a half second longer than the rest of you.
Yes, greetings, sir. We're here to investigate the school grounds as freely as we're allowed to.
He sort of eyes you up and down and squints a little bit, and then looks back at the Peacekeeper and says, "Well, these must be the investigators that you were mentioning to me. I see."
Yes, and I can assure you that each and every one of us has righteous cause to be here. We don't mean to pry any more than we have to, just enough to get this investigation solved.
Masman doesn't even look at you just yet, Marko. He locks eyes back with Burroughs, and Masman says, "Yes, the Peacekeeper were just informing me about the tragic deaths, all three of whom evidently were former students of this college. This information no doubt came as quite a shock to myself and some of the other faculty members."
And we'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
"Look, this place is an institute of higher learning. I cannot simply have a bunch of people barging into dorms or classrooms asking questions in the middle of the day."
Sure you can, for the safety and well-being of your student base. Right?
He finally looks at you and says, "And what, pray tell, are you looking for?"
Can I recall what the sectioned off area is
Yeah.
at the college?
Let me think when the last time that would have been. Roll history with advantage.
Okay. Maybe. There we go. 10.
Okay. With a 10, let's see, what would you recall? So, Burgoyne mentioned something about how he had been helping the school with its designs for this new part of the building. All that you would remember about that conversation is that Burgoyne mentioned something about some sort of fundraiser for the new wing of the school.
Choose my words very carefully. Well, we would start with some of the newer additions to the school.
Newer additions up. Oh, I see. You must be talking about the new alchemical wing of the college.
That would be included.
He looks back over at the Peacekeeper and the Recollector and says, "What exactly do you think that you would find there? You think there's a murderer on the construction crew or something? You expect to halt their progress? You know what a tight time crunch we're on. We're trying to get the foundations of the thing finished so that way people can see it at the fundraiser tomorrow."
Well, I sure hope we don't find anything, sir. But we have to look.
Mm,
I'm kind of squinting at him at this point.
Marko, make a charisma check.
Okay. That I'm good at. Well,
Are you?
12.
With a 12, he looks at your party, and he looks at you, Marko, and then he looks back to the Peacekeeper, and he says, "Look, I know what you've told me about these alchemical symbols that you found at the crime scenes. I know that the 3 deceased were at one point students of this college. I think you'll find many people living in Evren have gone here for their education. I don't understand why this would warrant such widespread search, but at the same time, I don't think I'd be getting rid of you any other way, would I?" And the Peacekeeper just shakes her head no. "Very well, let me see." He goes behind the desk, and he scribbles something on a piece of paper, and then he slaps it down on the table sort of frustratedly, and he slides it across to the Peacekeeper and the Recollector, and then looks over at your party, again, sort of looking at you, at each of you, with some degree of suspicion. And Masman says, "All I ask is that you please try to limit your interruptions of the functions of either the school or the construction. Stay only as long as you must and leave quickly."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That. Yeah, I mean that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we'll be make ourselves as scarce as can be.
"Yes, please
Thank you.
do."
Well, I mean, it might be a little bit hard for me, but it's fine. I'm
"Yes,
kinda
are
just stick
you
out.
part of the entertainment for tomorrow?"
No, I'm part of the investigation team.
Masman stares directly at you, Burroughs, and just raises one quizzical eyebrow and sort of closes his eyes and shakes his head.
It's just I'm gonna look at him exasperatedly and just try to get across my confusion and inability to affect the sort of group that I've fallen in with.
I mean, if you do need an entertainer, I can be of service, though. If all the others are boring, I'm good with cards.
"Cards, you say? Perhaps I'll
Yeah.
have to have a word with the Master of Ceremonies."
Perhaps. I'm pretty good.
"I'll keep it in mind. All right, I'm sorry, I have classes to teach. Good luck on your investigation." And he sort of exasperatedly grabs up his supplies and walks off down a hallway. And the Peacekeeper, goes to punch the top of the desk and then stops herself. And she just says, "If I had to talk in circles with that man one more minute, I was gonna break something."
Yeah, he seems like
I
a real
suppose
peach.
academia isn't for
The Recollector says, "Well, maybe I could have sold tickets. I can see it now on a big giant poster or banner or something like that. Come and watch the Pirate King Beheader destroy furniture." I think people would come and see it.
I definitely would. That would totally be fun.
Yeah,
If-
sounds amazing.
She softens a bit and she smiles, but then she rolls her eyes and sort of gives the Recollector like a light dig in the shoulder and says, "All right, so I figure the Recollector and we're gonna go see if we can't have a talk with, Geiger, what's his name again? That'd be Professor Spindle, down in the archives. figured we'd start our way down low and then maybe work our way up. You all can do whatever you want. We have free reign of the place, just, like the big man said, maybe just, I don't know, try not to draw too much attention to yourselves. And then again looks right at you, Melina, and says, as best you can. Just do your best. It also looks at you, Marko, with your giant bag of metal stuff clinking around.
Just don't be gone for too long. What was that face for? I saw you.
Nothing. Didn't even think you were paying attention. Or anyone for that matter.
Always.
The Recollector looks at you and says, you got something to say? You got an idea on the investigation?
No, sir.
All right.
Gave me weird eyes.
The Recollector and the Peacekeeper make their way back outside the building so that way they can take that lower entrance that Zana has used before to get down into the archives underneath some of the main buildings where Professor Spindle's library is. But yeah, as a party, you guys can investigate whatever you'd like. If you have any questions for me about areas of the college that you could search or just anything of interest, but otherwise your group gets to just go wherever you want.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, definitely at some point, the alchemical wing is a must, but at the same time, I'm wondering if that would be best for last.
Probably.
Or would it be best to make that first thing?
I think that's the most logical place to look first. At least one of the more logical places, even though it's still under construction.
Yeah. That's where I'd want to go.
Are you all in agreement on that then?
Yeah, sure.
I am.
Okay. So the new alchemy wing of the college, again, referencing here the overhead map, the construction site is kind of halfway between the Mage College and the prison. It sort of extends out the back of one area, so you guys would have to pick your way through the ground floor of the building to walk all the way back where there are scaffolds and workers busying themselves. And when you approach the sort of the entryway into this new wing that's under construction, someone who very clearly is part of the construction crew, an elven woman with some tools hoisted over her shoulders, sees you all approach and sort of puts out her hand, and she says, I'm sorry, but students aren't allowed back in here.
We're not students.
You're not students?
No, but they are mages.
Well, kind of. Only
I'm
half.
I'm druidic, not.
All right, let me be more specific here. What are you all doing back here?
We are investigating on the behalf of the Peacekeeper.
I see. Do you have anything notarized? Anything I can look at? Approval? Did you get paperwork for this? What do you got? Help me out here.
Did we have anything?
The
Burroughs is
Masman
gonna
gave
act
you
like
guys. Yeah, Masman gave you guys that slip of paper he wrote on. That's basically
Okay.
like if you need to flash this to get into places in the school, you can use that.
Okay.
As far as which one of you has it, I'll let you guys decide.
It doesn't matter.
You do have identification, right? Surely I haven't been trapezing about with a bunch of I'm just looking from each and every person, waiting for someone to produce some sort of identification.
It's who's got it?
I
It's a
don't
simple
know.
question. Who's got it?
It's not Melina.
I let's say I have it.
Okay, I'm like, I don't remember talking about this, so I don't know.
So you flash the paperwork that has the signature of Masman, the Archmage, and she has to sort of stand on tiptoe to see it, like the signature, and she says, "Okay, I suppose it's all right. Just well, especially you there, friend. You gotta watch your head. Some of these scaffoldings here. Let me just walk you around, all right? Just to make sure you all stay safe, okay? This building
Sure.
isn't quite a building yet, you understand? We're still working on the foundations."
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Understood.
not
Yeah.
a problem.
So she will sort of let you guys walk in front of her, but she'll sort of like guide or instruct as you guys get to different areas of the construction site about, things to watch your step or watch your head, things like that. But you guys are still sort of, you can go wherever you want. So if I was to describe the construction site, you can see that there is a long hallway that you guys are in. The exception being is that the roof isn't entirely enclosed yet. It seems like they're working on making it so that way people can walk on one level heading out towards the new wing, and that they're building like a split walkway like right above so people could come back the opposite direction. So it's kind of this interesting thing going on where they're kind of working in two levels on this hallway. And so you're kind of exposed to the outside because the roof has not been enclosed yet. But you can see workers working up there on scaffolds, very carefully hoisting things with rope, large stones. There's a lot of like bags of like sand. There's piles of gravel everywhere. There's just like basically rudimentary, for all intents and purposes, rudimentary concrete that is being mixed in various places. And as you guys are like halfway down this long hallway, walking into the new alchemy wing, the construction worker behind you, she says, "Yeah, I don't know why they gotta be up their bonnet all of a sudden, but we had to increase our speed of pace working on this. It's not how I like to do building projects, but they said that they wanted to really wow the people sporting the money for this thing, so we're trying to get as much of it done before tomorrow as possible."
Sporting the money? Like,
Well, yeah.
do you know
There's
who?
going to be a huge, well-to-do fundraiser thing tomorrow for all the people who've put money forward for the new wing of the college.
And
Oh.
anybody can donate, right?
Well, I guess so.
Okay.
Not sure if you'd get an invite, be perfectly honest. I think it's by invite only, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing. The venue space that they picked for this event isn't big enough to host all of Evren, so I would be shocked if it was just open to the public. I think the whole benefit thing is to make all the rich folks feel good about themselves, to be perfectly honest.
I see.
The people showing up to the party have already decided that they're going to give and how much they're going to give, but they get to be in the spotlight when they drop it into the pot with all the rest of it, you know?
That makes sense.
Well,
After getting to the end of this hallway, there is this huge open space, almost like a warehouse under construction, where both sides there's like, stone workers everywhere building up these walls with these very beautiful windows that are being installed, being lowered by ropes and some rudimentary wooden cranes and hoists and things like that. There's workers everywhere. But the biggest thing that you notice about the area where you guys are walking into is the gigantic, just empty space where the floor would be is just sort of a deep. It's almost like when people are digging out a basement. There's just a huge rectangle of empty flooring. And all around the edge of this giant rectangle, there's, again, just like gravel, big paver stones, sand, all sorts of stuff, and that concrete mix I mentioned earlier. And once you guys get closer to the edge, she suddenly, like, speed walks up to the front of the group and, like, mom arms you guys, and it's just like, be very careful, we haven't poured the foundation yet.
Okay.
We'll be careful.
Thanks.
Why don't each of you roll me investigation checks?
Awesome. Never mind.
No.
That's gonna be a
Rolling
3.
bad. 9.
Yeah, I rolled low,
6.
but I got a high modifier, so 14.
Okay. With a 14, Burroughs, you see that there are workers busying themselves around the outer edges of the building. And, you know, this is right after this construction worker just told you that they haven't poured the foundations yet. And you see that there's a lot of basically stuff prepping for it. There's a bunch of stuff right at the edge of this giant rectangular pit that you could presume that that's what they're going to be filling in the hole with. Let me think. You see that there is a wood ramp that has been put up against the side of this pit that leads down into this dug foundation. And that there are a couple workers moving up and down with little wheelbarrows, excavating.
Thinking. Let's see.
What's the last element?
I was
What
gonna
did you
say, yeah.
something
I
like
think
that?
this is the
Oh yeah,
if it's Earth, then I think I
Yeah,
know where
that's
the
what I
last.
was
that
thinking.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I was also thinking.
Yeah. So,
Good theory.
yeah. I need not say anything.
Guys, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
That the concrete's the last thing, maybe? Earth?
Well, I mean, Melina's going to whisper, I think the next murder is going to be here.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to.
You could say it, or else I won't understand what you're talking about.
Well, this place seems to line up with that theory, but these people working don't seem to have any clue.
When you ask if we're thinking the same thing, I assume I'm going to say no, but in this case, I think we do agree.
Good.
The
good.
construction worker says, "What are you all talking about?"
Investigation business.
Yep, just discussing is all.
Do you
I
get
do-
paid to listen or to work?
Oh. I have one question for you, ma'am.
Dang.
Go ahead.
Have you noticed maybe anybody that looks weird around?
Suspicious.
Says the clown.
Yeah, that's what everyone
Have you
had
seen
suspicious.
someone out of place, perhaps? No, that's so let's see. I'm gonna make a roll for this NPC. We'll see how they do. Oh dang. Even without a modifier, that's a good roll. Alright. So the way that this shakes out is, so who asked the question first? Or two people asked it. Have you seen
I
something
did,
suspicious?
And then Evren clarify.
Evren added the suspicious part.
So Melina and Evren, you asked this question, and this construction worker, she like sort of fidgets with the stuff on her shoulder a second and says, "Well, I don't know about any of the workers. I know a lot of these people. We've worked on a lot of different projects together. There are very few of the people on this crew that I don't know from way back. But I will say that since we opened up the worksite so early this morning, since, you know, the school's kind of on us to get a lot done really fast, I was here getting things unlocked, getting things ready. And I could have sworn that someone was in here and I scared them off. I'm not positive. I didn't see anyone. I just heard noises. I don't know."
Yeah, that probably
Yep.
checking it out.
We're definitely
For all I
on
know,
some
it was a
shit.
couple students who wanted to look around. I really don't know. Nothing was out of place once we got here. Nothing was missing.
But you said students aren't allowed here.
Well, they're not supposed to, but Lord only knows what they get up to. I mean, did you hear about just recently that accident that happened at the tower? I mean, these students will get in all sorts of places they're not supposed to be.
Wait, what accident?
You know, the clock tower explosion. That place was supposed to be locked up tight like a drum. Still found a way in there somehow. Be easy enough for them to push past some of the tarping and the canvas and get back here and mess around. It's not exactly the most secure thing. There's just not a lot to see back here yet.
Well, then do you mind if we take a look up there?
The clock tower? More power to you, my large friend. That is not my jurisdiction, but you have the fancy piece of paper, so I say your odds are better than most. I wouldn't go up there, not if you paid me 1,000,000 gold.
Well, it just makes sense.
I don't think there's anything up there that's pertinent to our current investigation.
I don't know what could be. Just got that gut feeling, you know?
I don't, and I think we should investigate here fully before we go trapezing about everywhere else.
Yeah.
Why don't all of you roll another investigation check?
That's better. 15.
A 9.
7.
Me as well?
Mm-hmm. All of you.
26. 26.
Wow.
26. So just as you're saying this, as you're like, we shouldn't go trapezing about, all of a sudden, midstream, you actually spot something.
Oh.
In the pit.
Oh.
So, against the corner where so there's a wooden ramp closer to you, and at the far end of the room, there's another wooden ramp way at the back of the room, where they're installing this huge circular window against the back wall. And you see something standing out against the stark, dark earth. Something white. And it's kind of large.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm immediately moved to investigate closer. I'm just gonna stop what I'm saying and just like push past Marko, like slide past his leg and move to check out whatever's I just noticed.
So you going down the ramp then?
Yeah.
Okay. As you go down the ramp, the construction worker goes, "Whoa, hey!" And she like follows after you. But she's not trying to stop you. She's more like, I just need to follow you to make sure you don't hurt yourself.
Right.
But down in the bottom of this pit,
He's a professional. Don't worry.
So,
yeah.
Burroughs, this pit that you're in goes far above your head. Like once you go all the way down into the ramp, like this foundation that they're pouring is a deep foundation. And you walk across the room, and as you approach that far ramp, you see that there is a white feather on the ground.
Well, I know who that reminds me of. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. I'm going to take it and I'm going to triumphantly like point at it like I expect everyone else to know what this is, and I'm just waving it up at them from the pit.
What is that?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
Feather?
It looks important.
Just
It
just
looks
sighs
you
and
think
like
it is?
he huffs and puffs and just makes his way back up the ramp.
I'm proud of you for finding it.
Well, it may just be a red herring, but this also may confirm my suspicions about our prisoner friend.
It looks white to me.
Or, hopefully I remember this correctly. He had a bunch of he was feeding a bunch of doves. The prisoner we visited, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
And with this, I don't know how knowledgeable Burroughs would be about bird taxonomy, but his
Um,
brain would jump immediately to this would be a feather of that dove.
Okay. Why don't you roll? So you're trying to determine what sort of bird this feather came from?
And my brain immediately went to that. So,
All right, I'm going to say roll a flat animal handling.
I'm not good at that. We'll give it a shot. Yeah, it's a 5.
Okay, with a 5, the only thing that you would know is that the birds that were perched at the windowsill that you remember, there were some white birds on the sill, and that this is a white feather, presumably from a bird. That is what you could easily tell at first blush.
This is why you don't skip falconry classes.
F is for falconry, which is what I got scored on. But yeah, that's what you found. That's the one thing that seemed like of all the things at the bottom of the pit, it's what stood out the most.
Burroughs kind of pauses, and after the excitement leaves, like, well, I may have made a few leaps in logic there, but I suppose this is better than nothing.
Yeah.
The construction worker lady just looks at your group, looks at the feather, and says, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure what we're looking for. We found something, so.
All right. Well, is there anything else that I can show you around back here?
I don't think so. You want to head back?
Sure.
My God, we're a sorry bunch of investigators, aren't we?
I just can't shake that
Whoa.
clock
I
tower.
mean, do you have any ideas, Burroughs?
I
Any
thought I
other-
did, but I'm looking at a feather, and I assumed I had cracked the case, so clearly I've gone as mad as you all.
Yeah, well, spending enough time with us will do that. So welcome to the club.
Marko, you were saying?
Just can't shake the clock tower. I mean, an explosion, students sneaking off there.
Well, that was a long time ago, and I don't believe it's anything to do with this situation, so I'd prefer if we kept our minds on the current mission and didn't go wandering about the places that didn't need to be wandered in.
I suppose not. It's... If it really has nothing to do with anything, then we should focus on the things that matter to people's safety.
Like the giant pit in the ground.
That is most certainly, yeah.
I wonder if someone was already buried in there.
You wanna go dig around? Find out?
Manual labor isn't my particular forte.
Me neither.
Mm.
Who wants to go in the dirt and dig around?
I'll do it. And she'll just sigh and go.
Before
I'm
that,
why
actually,
not?
I would ask if I would try to find the foreman or whatever, maybe the person we just talked to see if there was ever a time recently where the site was totally unattended.
Yeah, I mean, she's still standing next to you guys.
Yeah, I would ask her if the sites are unattended at night or if they have any guards posted up.
Well, we don't usually post guards for construction projects for schools. Fact is, we just finished digging this hole few hours ago. Like I said, they're kind of panicked to get the floor poured and poured quick. But I don't know, suppose from this point, like right now when we're talking, we're planning on filling it in before the party tomorrow, which is in the evening, I think. So maybe one night?
And that's our one night to dig.
Yeah. Maybe we should all just go dig in the dirt.
The foreman sort of like tilts her head to the side and says, "Well, I can't let you dig more of the foundation out. That would mean we have to pour more. It's already at its max depth."
This is an investigation, ma'am.
It is very important. We wouldn't do it just to be annoying.
We'll put the dirt back.
Exactly.
Okay. She looks at all of you and she says, "Okay, if we were looking for something in the dirt, where would we be digging? You have an idea? There's a lot of floor space here."
Well,
Good
hold on.
miss
You said that when you arrived you scared off an individual, but there was no evidence of any tampering.
No evidence of tampering.
Where was the individual standing?
I can't be sure it was an individual, but I thought I heard movement and commotion at that far end of the room over there.
Or is the worker pointing inside the pit, or is it more like outside to like the?
So back in the back left, where that wood ramp is, she's pointing to like the back left of the room.
Then I think it'd be most useful to start looking there.
Okay. So if you guys all grab a shovel, why don't each of you roll strength?
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm really good at that.
Just
Been rolling.
straight.
Yep, just straight.
Cool.
15.
That's 6.
That's a 4.
It's a 7 for me.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it's rough out here.
that's not one shovel full. That basically just shows your proficiency in this moment, your luck pulling the stuff up, because it's not loose dirt. They've already dug all the loose dirt. This stuff is like it's also at the top of the day, so like it's a little bit wet from like the morning dew and stuff. So it's heavier to move this stuff around. I'll say that you all are able to dig down probably like half a foot. And Marco's able to get down a little bit further. And in that back left corner, like where the ramp is, you dig down a ways and you don't find anything. Just more solid dirt. You're digging deep enough that you're starting to hit like different kinds of earth or rock. So like clay. There's a little bit of clay there. So it's heavy stuff. But you dig down in that back left corner and you're not seeing anything.
All right. Once that's dug out, I'd like to. It'll take 10 minutes to cast because I have to cast this as a ritual. I like to cast Detect Magic in that corner area once we dug out some of the stuff. Because here, I'll post the rules for Detect Magic real quick.
I like that. Cool. Okay. Yeah, let me take a look. See at that.
It is blocked by enough, surface area. So if it's too deep, then we still won't be able to get it. But hopefully, we've gotten close enough that if there's anything there.
Okay. Okay.
So just covered in dirt with a shovel slammed next to me. I'm just meditating in one of the holes I've been trying to dig out.
Okay. Let me tell you. Let me think. I'm just reading the text here. Okay. When you cast this, you do detect something, but not in the hole you just dug. So when you're casting it that direction, right, against that just the back left of the room, you see that there's something pinging that Detect Magic up out of the pit against one of the corners of the building.
Okay. That's not necessarily unusual because we are in a Magic College, but I will go investigate that right away.
Okay. So when you clamber up out of the pit by taking the ramp, you go to this back left wall, which the wall itself hasn't been all the way joined in yet. There's basically just like a small space where you could just sort of step over and you're outside all of a sudden because the wall isn't done being fitted, the corner pieces. And you see a strange piece of cloth that is shredded and hanging on essentially almost like a piece of rebar from where they're going to pour some of this stuff around the base of the wall. It's these metal bars that are inside of the stonework that are going to be joined together. But there's just like an odd little bit of cloth hanging off of this piece of rebar.
All right. A little less triumphantly, now that he realizes that the clues don't necessarily mean anything by themselves, he will go show the rest of the group what he's found.
Okay. So you pick it up then? You take it off the rebar?
Actually, I probably should mess with the crime scene. I'll leave it there for now, and I'll actually invite the rest of the people, or my party, up to take a look at it.
All right. So the rest of you can see, upon further inspection, you guys walk up closer to this, and it's not apparent until you get closer to it. But this is actually a pocket. Like someone's pocket got snagged on this and then ripped, presumably as they were exiting the premises. and the pocket sort of came off of their garment. And so the pocket itself is still intact.
Did you reach in?
I'm gonna glance around nervously and do that now. I'm gonna sort of see if I can see inside of it.
Okay. So just like peering into this cloth pocket, you would see a small someone's calling me on Discord. You would see a small earring and a small rolled up piece of paper.
All right.
Is there anything on the paper? Or is it just the paper?
This piece of paper is very, very small. Very, very small. And it's rolled up. And it's got like a tiny little thing wrapped around it to keep it rolled up. But like you could theoretically reach into the pocket and unfurl it.
I mean, may as well, right? I guess we are the lead investigators here.
Makes
This is
sense.
true.
We are.
So which one of you grabs the scroll?
I can grab it.
I'll open it up and like show everyone what's inside, and then someone can take it out while I'm showing everyone.
Okay. This, whatever is written on this scroll, is written so small that you would probably need some sort of magnification in order to read it.
Enhance.
Zoom enhance.
Why isn't this Zoom working?
It's all just pixels. God damn it.
Any
Well-
ideas how to enlarge this?
This is a school,
Other than,
right?
like a magnifying glass?
It shouldn't be
Yeah.
hard to find a like a magnifying glass of some sort at the college, I wouldn't think, right? Or would I need to go to a specific wing for that?
I think it's perfectly within the realm of reasonability that you could find some sort of magnification thing somewhere in a school.
Look, I'm looking at my inventory. I don't think I have anything like that on me. I thought maybe because I was a mage, I might have something, but c'est la vie. Yeah, let's go trapeze around and take a look, see if we can find a magnifying glass of some sort.
Okay. So do you take the pocket or the earring with you? And
Well,
if so,
I may as
who's
well
got it?
I'll take the whole pocket. Yeah, I'll take the
Okay.
whole pocket with the earring in it.
I'll say that. How long does your detect magic spell last?
Okay, detect magic. It's I don't actually look at me casting spells. I don't know the full detail
Okay.
of.
Regardless.
It for 10 minutes.
Okay. You
after I
can
cast it.
tell. Then it's very. I should just make sure you understand that while you specifically are looking at this pocket, you can tell that the earring is the thing that is setting off your detect magic.
Yeah. Okay. I figured, but I wasn't quite sure. All right.
Yes. Yeah. So right
Is
now,
there-
if you were to look at it, it's like sort of glowing faintly for you.
If there's a school of magic, can I detect what kind of magic it is for my detect magic?
Can you tell me different schools of magic that it could
Oh, okay.
be?
It's only like it's like a D&D, or it's like abjuration, evocation, necromancy, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Divination.
if any,
Transmutation.
there isn't necessarily one. There doesn't really have to be one.
Okay,
I was just wondering
I'll tell
if
you.
there was.
I'll put it to you like this, since I don't know the parlance off the top of my head. Whichever school of magic this is, if you were thinking of it in terms of what color on the spectrum of magic this is some sort of field of magic that involves giving or restoring life.
Okay.
The evocation.
There you
'Cause
go.
that's the heal spells. Yeah.
Some sort of evocation. magic is lingering on this. But
Gotcha.
you can see, just at first blush, that even though it was detectable by detect magic, it almost seems like it is diminished, like a dimmer switch has been pulled halfway down on this earring.
Might be it's already been used up somehow. Well, we've found two important little things of evidence, so that's something we can
We certainly know
move
more
forward
than
with.
we did before.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Maybe the Archmage's quarters study? Or his classroom?
Should we let the investigators know first or him know first about what we found so far? And what do you guys think? Because they're busy with someone else right now, right?
I feel like they're only gonna slow us down.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. We're professionals.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing great.
Relax, I'll handle it.
So you guys make your way back through the construction site. This elf lady, she walks you guys all the way back to the entrance of the construction site, and she wishes you well, and then she gets back to work. And you guys are now back in sort of the main lobby area. And as far as where you want to go or what you might be looking for next is up to you.
I mean, I'd be interested in figuring out what the small text in the letter
Yeah.
says, but
Okay.
Yeah,
Me too.
me too. Me three.
I'm gonna say, let's see. Burroughs, why don't you roll me a... What would make sense to have you roll in that? I'll say roll investigation. Roll investigation with advantage, since this pertains specifically to the Mage College.
that's good. Okay, so an 11 was the first one, then we got a 17.
With a 17, you know that there is an area of the Mage College. You had to take courses where it's like geology, but pertaining to like magical stones or stone crafting for magical weapons specifically. And you know that there are various like jeweler's loops that are in those classrooms because they have to check for imperfections so that way the spell fires off right. So you would know that there are magnification things in that part of the school where they do like geology studies for like precious stones or magical stones, basically.
There we go.
All right, without saying a word, I'm just going to beeline that direction and
Okay.
expect the rest of people to follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
hurry on
follow.
after.
Okay. Without taking too much time, you make the correct combination of lefts and rights, and you start walking towards a classroom that is currently in session. And the doorway, the door's open, and you can see that there is a professor talking to a room full of students. And then since Burroughs is in front, Burroughs, you step into the doorway, and you see that in the front row seat, grinning at you somewhat sappily, is your dear enthusiastic roommate, who is just waving at you after recognizing you and seeing you in the doorway. And without being able to not say anything, Prima just sort of blurts out, "Burroughs!" And like the entire class looks in your direction, and the professor, and they're all just looking at the doorway as the rest of your party walks up.
Full deer in headlights as everyone's, and I'm just going to slowly like push the rest of you forward and like we need to get. I'm going to point to one of the magnifying devices, like, get us one of those.
Oh dear.
A somewhat stern-looking dwarf standing on a stool says, "Is there a reason for this untimely interruption?"
I'm gonna nudge people in the back as I'm hiding behind them.
Not to worry. Just official business. In and out.
Official business?
The paperwork.
Yes, and I hold up the paper.
He hops down off his stool and he walks over to you and gets you to lower it, and then he squints at it and he says, "Oh, I see. The Archmage has given you permission to investigate the college. Very interesting. Well, students, why don't you all turn to chapter 5 and just start reading. Prima, that means you too.
Oh,
All right. How can I help you?"
we just need to read these small letters.
He says, "May I?" And then he takes it and he puts on his spectacles and he's like, "Good glory, this is small."
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got just the thing. And he goes back to the table and he grabs a single jeweler's loop and he says, "Anything for the Archmage. Here you are. Just please be careful with it. They're very expensive."
But of course.
So when you put this jeweler's loop into your eye socket and you're able to close your other eye and focus in, you kind of have to play a little game to figure out the right distance to have it, so that way it's in correct magnification. But you see that written in extremely, extremely small letters are the words, "Change target." And then the second sentence says, "We've been made."
Hey, Evren,
They've been made.
Hmm?
you know how you've been teaching me about reading?
Yeah.
Am I reading this right? Hand it to her.
Oh yeah, I'll take it and read it with the
Just repeat what I read.
no.
She reads it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's oh no.
Looks like we've got them nervous. Well, whoever they are, they should be.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We definitely need to show the Peacekeeper this when we see her next.
Right. Do you think we found enough to report back?
I mean, this is the best lead we've had.
This seems
since we started.
Yeah, pretty important. Pretty desperate.
I mean, I think it's good enough unless anyone else can think of something that we're not thinking about right now.
Surely thinking of much.
It's at this point that the dwarven professor would say, "If you're all done with that, I would like to have it back, please."
Do you have any extras?
And he looks at you. And then for a brief moment, this professor sort of looks around one of your legs, Marko, and looks at Burroughs and is just like, don't I know you from somewhere? Have you been in my class before?
Sort of just not gonna just
This he's involved in a what's that word again? The what's it called, Evren? Melina?
The practicum?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. It's the strangest thing. It's that notebook you're carrying around. I could have sworn I'd seen it somewhere before. I thought you were perhaps a student in one of my classes.
no, just taking notes for Edmund, who's out right now.
Edmund, that's the one I was thinking of. That makes so much sense. All right, well, since you're at least connected to the school, and no offense to the rest of you, I suppose I could lend you the jeweler's loop, but I would need it back before tomorrow.
Of course. We wouldn't ask unless it was important, and that's most gracious of you.
All right, I need to get back to what we're doing here. Good luck to the rest of you. Yes, and oh, perhaps it has not been stressed to you already, but in your investigations, if you do end up going up to the clock tower, just be very, 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 very careful.
And why is that?
Oh, carelessness leads to bad things happening, and it just so happens that inside old Carlisle's room, there are a lot of cursed objects that you should not touch or disturb, if at all possible. So if you do end up going in there looking for clues, maybe just don't touch anything.
Understood.
Thank you, Professor, for your interrupt class.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm sure the students are grateful. Prima pipes up and looks across at you, Burroughs, and says, Burroughs, check it out! Look at this awesome sketch I just finished! I think I finally got an idea for my invention. I'm gonna show it off tomorrow at the party. I got permission. I just gotta finish the prototype.
Oh boy.
I see. Well, that is certainly excellent, though I'm not sure there may be a party if the investigation deems it necessary.
Prima looks confused and says, You're not saying you guys would stop the fundraiser, would you?
Not if we can help it.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe you guys will catch the bad guy today and we won't even have to worry about it.
That's the idea.
Oh! Burroughs, before you get too far, and before I forget, oh man, there was something I was supposed to say. About a little bit shorter than me, taller than you, glasses, big backpack. Helene, I think? Yeah, she stopped by our dorm room to see if you were there, to talk to you, but since, you didn't show back up at the dorms last night, I just told her you weren't in, so sorry.
That's fine. I hadn't expected her to be asking for me.
Yeah, she said something about wanting an update on the case or something like that.
Oh, excellent. More complications.
The professor says, all right, that's enough. All right, everyone, eyes front. Come on, let's get back to this. All right, now, where was I? Oh, yes. The dangers of using a flawed diamond to enhance your magical spell casting. And the entire room just goes, ugh, just like deflates. But yeah. So, yeah, where does your party go?
At this point, we need to go back to the Peacekeeper, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can
So?
make your way back to the lobby. Easy enough.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else, so.
So you guys pick your way back to the lobby. And as you guys round the corner and go back into that area where you started, you see that the Peacekeeper and the Recollector are walking almost at the same time, like walking back into the room. And the Recollector all of a sudden says, see, I told you it wouldn't be too hard to find them. The Peacekeeper says, well, I hope you all had more luck than we did down in the library.
I would say so. And kind of look at the
Yeah.
others.
Most definitely.
What do you got?
Well, for one, I pass off the letter with the small print. You should take a look at this. It's just a bit alarming.
She takes the loop and she pulls the paper away from her face a little ways, and then she sort of like slowly lowers it, and then she looks over at the Recollector and like forces both of them into his hands, and he puts the loop in and looks at the paper, and he lowers it. All of you roll insight.
On Evren.
A nat
God.
20.
That's
7.
a 9. She's rolling
Nat
like
20, wow.
It's a 4.
Oh,
Melina,
Don't worry, I rolled a 5.
Yes.
with a nat 20, as the Recollector lowers the loop and the paper away from his face, you can see in the expression on his face, like the way that the Peacekeeper reacted to the information was, you know, like not neutral, but it's just like the shifting of pieces on a board that is so mysterious. Like it doesn't really help anything to know that. But when the Recollector lowers the loop away from his face, you can just see in his expression that there's some genuine fear there.
What's scaring you so much?
He sort
I
of
didn't take you for someone that got scared.
looks over at you and he says, you're telling me you read this and you didn't get freaked out?
well, it sounds like
Really?
these criminals, they're running scared. I think we're catching up to them. That was a little reassuring, but knowing that they might be desperate, who knows what they'll do next.
Yeah, well,
That is
desperate
indeed a little
people
scary.
can do very crazy things if they feel like they're being backed into a corner, so it's a little concerning.
Also, their target might have changed, but someone's still in danger.
The Recollector looks at the Peacekeeper and says, hey boss, listen, you wouldn't mind if I stepped outside just to clear my head down there in the basement with all the dust and everything, and that spindle fella talking around us in circles. I got just a tiny little bit of a headache. You mind if I just step outside for a little bit? Think you can handle these guys? He says and sort of cracks a small smile. He's like, fine. He says, thank you. And he walks outside of the Mage College, just outside of view of the door. And the Peacekeeper says, anything else?
He seemed very perturbed by that.
She, looks in the direction of the door, hesitates for a second, and then takes, a half step closer to your group, and in a more hushed tone, she says, I don't know how much you remember about when I was talking about how he got to work for us, the good guys, but some of the folk that Geiger fell into with his, gambling and cheating and such, he met some very bad people. And before he finally turned himself in for our protection, he started getting notes a lot like this, except far more threatening. He's seen what criminals do. He never was one of them. That's why he joined us. But I can't say I'm surprised it rattled him.
Yes, suppose I can't be surprised either.
Well, I think possibly we found a spot that could be the next murder spot.
She says, did you now? And what makes you think that?
Because it's a pit.
She stops for a second, and then she, her eyes dart back to you, Melina, and she says, the construction site.
Yeah.
Would be a very good way to dispose of somebody.
That's also where we found that letter.
It's also tied specifically to alchemy, too. The fact that it's the new wing for the college.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, that does make sense. I suppose we could post guards there. Can't hurt to have a few more people at the construction site, just in case something goes down.
Might want to double it.
I'll see what I can do. It's going to be very difficult to find the numbers I would like to have because of the parade happening today.
Oh, good lord, a parade, then the fundraising event.
Fundraising events tomorrow, but unfortunately this military to-do for that skirmish at the border, they're honoring General Tao with a special parade. I don't even think he wants them. I don't think he likes them. But it's public pressure, that sort of thing. Comes with his station. He's supposed to be at the front in some military la-di-da today. So I'm not sure how many soldiers I can spare, but I'll make sure that there's at least a few people posted here during the day, and to your point, maybe I'll see if I can't get out here myself in the nighttime.
Just hope that's enough.
Where'd you
Bad feeling
find
about
this note exactly? Just out in the open?
Burroughs here found it.
One of the workers saw an unidentified figure flee the site early in the morning. It seems very likely they left this behind.
I see. So, you just got real lucky and found a piece of paper on the ground?
I wouldn't say that. We found the bit of the. I'll take out the. I'll take it. Have I shown the investigator the pocket yet? The actual pocket. I'll show him that alongside the earring, and explain that we found that torn
She
off on a.
takes it and she, pries it open, and she says, "Well, I don't know who this mystery person was, but I like their taste in jewelry."
There's some sort of lingering magic on there, if that wasn't obvious.
She, hesitates for a second before giving it back to you. And then she looks at you and she says, "On this."
Point to the earring. I'll nod.
She hurries over to the main desk and she empties the earring out onto the surface, the wooden surface, and she looks at it. And she snaps her fingers sort of behind her back and says, "Give me that lens again."
Oh, okay.
She gets it and she puts it on and she gets really close to this earring and then she slowly puts it down on the table and then looks at your party and she says, "Professor Spindle was just talking my ear off about something like this.
Like what?
I think a pair of earrings that look an awful lot like this are on the manifest of missing items that disappeared after the tower exploded."
Aha.
Right.
Isn't that just wonderful?
I don't think we need to be worried about this one. If I remember correctly, this had something to do with extending life or something like that. So I think it should be okay to touch. But, truth be told, I want to say that there was something in Spindle's book that he was talking about drawbacks to having both earrings in the same area for too long. But I can't remember what it was. Well, I worked my way up from the basement and you all did some investigating on this floor. I think I'd be quite curious to check out that clock tower.
Yeah. Just don't touch anything, is what we're told.
If we must.
The Peacekeeper looks at you and says, "It's the one place that I haven't seen with my own two eyes in this school. And I saw the aftermath of those horrible creatures, those paraforms that you all got rid of. I didn't know Carlyle personally, but what I do know is that a lot of the things that he was mixed up with have had lingering effects on this place, and not exactly good ones."
Why would you say that?
Well, there's always a sort of fear talking about the man. Doesn't that seem strange to you? The fact that your legacy be tied up in mystery and fear? The fact that nobody wants to go into your room after you're dead? Me personally, I'd kind of like to dispel all that. Get people stop talking about him as though he was some sort of a ghost lingering about.
Yeah, I suppose I agree. A little bit of demystifying could make people a little less scared.
She motions with her head to a spiral staircase that leads in the direction of the clock tower. And since we are out of time for this session, we'll end as you guys are walking up the steps with this epilogue. As your party of investigators walks the winding staircase that leads to the clock tower, all of you feel that the closer you get to Carlisle's room, the more unease that you feel. The more your body and mind want to flee. Except for one of you. For one of you, the mystery is familiar. The staircase is familiar. And even though most of you have no idea what to expect beyond the doorway, one of you knows exactly what's behind the door. And that is where we will end.